Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report, today for September the 30th of 2020. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams, and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry. Hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week, it is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoy the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. But today, Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt Red will require crunch ahead of the November launch of the game, according to a new report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt Red is reportedly implementing a mandatory crunch period ahead of the game's November release, according to a Bloomberg report. Employees will be required to work 6-day work weeks, your typical amount of work and 1 day of the weekend, according to an email allegedly leaked from the Polish company. Previously, CD Projekt Red promised that its employees would not have to crunch, that is, work grueling hours over a span of time to complete a game. However, in January, CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Kaczynski admitted during an investor's call that some degree of crunch would be necessary in completing the game. Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed multiple times, moves that onlookers hoped would reduce crunch, and the game is now slated for November the 19th. According to the Bloomberg report, CD Projekt studio lead Adam Badowski sent an email to notify employees about the required crunch period. Quote, "I take it upon myself to receive the full backlash for the decision," Badowski wrote in the email. "I know this is in direct opposition to what we have said about crunch. It is also in direct opposition to what I personally grew to believe a while back, that crunch should never be the answer. But we have extended all other possible means of navigating the situation." An employee also told Bloomberg that some workers have already been crunching for more than a year. CD Projekt Red has not responded to Polygon's request for comment. However, Adam Badowski has followed up on Twitter, quoting Jason Schreier's original tweet and saying the following in a graphic. "These last 6 weeks are our final sprint on a project we have all spent much of our lives on, something we care for deeply. The majority of the team understands that push, especially in light of the fact that we've just sent the game to cert, and every day brings us visibly closer to shipping a game we want to be proud of. This is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, but everyone is well compensated for every extra hour they put in, and like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit our company generates in 2020 will be split directly among the team." Now, before I put any kind of opinion with this, I want to make a statement that I feel few people are making and that often goes forgotten. If you don't work at CD Projekt Red, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes, whether you're a gaming journalist or just some dude with a Twitter account, and this applies to me as well. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel that provides commentary on gaming news. I don't know what's happening at CD Projekt Red. This could be a very minor deal to a few select people at the studio. This could be a major deal that is impacting the livelihood and work-life balance of everybody at the studio. I don't know any more than anyone else that doesn't work at CD Projekt Red. Now, with that being said, I have some thoughts. According to the statement that Adam Badowski made, the game has been sent to cert. This is going to launch on November the 19th, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So, with that being taken into account, it makes sense for the studio to buckle down, get rid of as many bugs as possible, and get the game in its best possible state for release. Now, with that being said, going back to the original article talking about what is actually required, 1 extra day of the week. You're working 6-day work weeks for the next 7 weeks. That is not great, but it's not terrible. Now, I'm not saying that crunch is good. Crunch is not good. Ideally, a project manager should be able to navigate the waters of a project's development and release it on time without having to encroach on the lives of the people working on it. But I've worked at jobs before where I've worked for 10 days in a row for 10 hours a shift. On top of that, those jobs not paying nearly as well as CD Projekt Red. Additionally, the compensation is probably very good. Of course, you see the decisions here were difficult, but everyone is well compensated for every extra hour they put in. And like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit our company generates is going to be split directly among the team, according to Adam Badowski. That's a lot of money. Like, you're going to get compensated very well for this. I understand that money isn't everything, though. This is where I'm conflicted, because the game has been delayed twice. If you delay it a third time, it's doable, but it's still going to be a big blow. But at the same time, a little bit more work would get it out on time. But at the same time, that's probably hurting the mental health of at least some people at the company, because not everybody is built to work for 6 days out of the work week, let alone whatever else they might do. Now, this is, again, everything we are seeing on the outside. What is happening on the inside could be better, could be worse. I don't know. But those are my thoughts. I wanted to present it to you. Right now, Cyberpunk 2077 is still slated for release on November the 19th. I know in recent weeks there have been reports that the company is working out issues with the melee combat system. On top of that, I'm sure that there's a lot of QA testing going on to ensure that the game is solid. But it's a tricky situation because CD Projekt Red is one of the most respected companies in the gaming industry, and I feel like this is not your standard amount of crunch and the standard type of crunch that you see from a company like Electronic Arts that has been called out before for low pay and excruciating hours. This is on the surface, again, from the literal surface level view, asking for one more work day out of your week for the next 7 weeks to get what is potentially going to be one of the highest earning games of all time out on time. It's a difficult situation. However, I would love to hear what you have to say in the comment section down below. But moving on, Xbox Game Pass is getting EA Play games on November the 10th. Of course, this is a follow-up story to something we talked about last week. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will get access to EA Play just in time for Microsoft's next-gen console launch. EA Play is arriving on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on November the 10th, the same day that Microsoft launches both the Xbox Series X and the Series S consoles. Only Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers that pay $14.99 per month will get access to EA Play alongside the xCloud and bundled Xbox Live Gold benefits. EA Play will include access to more than 60 additional EA games, including The Sims, FIFA, Mass Effect, and many more. EA Play is similar to Game Pass, but exclusive to EA's games. Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will also be able to download and play games from EA Play on Windows 10 PCs in December, boosting the collection of games available on the PC side of Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft is also planning to add Bethesda's classic franchises to Xbox Game Pass for both console and PC soon, and these additions come after Microsoft acquired Bethesda Softworks' parent company ZeniMax for $7.5 billion, and Doom Eternal will be one of the first additions on October the 1st, but Microsoft has not yet revealed the full list of Bethesda games that will make their way to Game Pass. Now, speaking of this, let's go ahead and bundle two stories into one. Xbox Game Pass is adding Brutal Legend, Forza Motorsport 7, and more in early October. EA Play is coming on November the 10th for console and in December for PC, as we just discussed. But Microsoft has announced several new titles coming to Xbox Game Pass for console and PC in early October, which include Doom Eternal on the 1st alongside Drake Hollow. On October the 8th, you have the Jack Black starring classic Brutal Legend and Forza Motorsport 7 as well on all places you can play. Looking forward to diving into Motorsport 7 on PC, and Ikenfell is also releasing alongside these two. And of course, on top of that, you are going to be getting all of the additional benefits and perks of EA Play coming in just over 1 month. Very good new asset that is going to be coming alongside the Xbox Series X and S launch. Again, I want to reiterate, for $15 a month, you are getting access, not excess. You are getting an access of games, but you are getting access to EA Play. On top of that, Game Pass for console. On top of that, Game Pass for PC. And then there are plenty of other bells and whistles and partnerships that come from Discord and other places that give you even more perks. It is a phenomenal deal. And so this is something that I feel is almost mandatory in a way if you are getting an Xbox Series X and S, because you really never have to buy a game again. If you aren't really specifically picky about what you play and you just want a box that plays games, you get some of the biggest games of this generation, and going forward, you get access to some of the biggest games of the upcoming generation day and date. including those from Bethesda. Now, that's pretty wild. But as far as the additions that are coming in October, I think the standout is by far Doom Eternal. Of course, that is a direct result of the acquisition of ZeniMax Media, but it is worth mentioning it's coming out on October the 1st to console and Android through Project xCloud. It is going to be coming to PC in the coming weeks, probably towards November or so. Now, additionally, Brutal Legend is a phenomenal game, one of my favorites from Double Fine, and Forza Motorsport 7 is one that I've been looking forward to for a very long time, because while Horizon 4 is fun and lighthearted, I kind of would like a little simulator experience, but of course, it will look even better whenever it hits the Project xCloud, and on top of that, on the Xbox Series X. So looking forward to playing these games, and on top of that, looking forward to EA Play coming to the service on November the 10th. But speaking of Xbox games with gold, they're going all in for Halloween, and going all in really is a big term because the games aren't good. A lot of times Microsoft misses the mark with games with gold. That's not in terms of the quality being crappy, although that has certainly been a problem in the past, but in terms of disassociating months for their biggest holiday. Everyone's in the mood, so just give us what we're already vibing, says the author Destructoid. That's not a problem for October's games with gold. It is Halloween to the max, and of course, no time for anything other than scares and slayings, which is exactly how October should be. It starts strong on Xbox One as Slay Away Camp Butcher's Cut is the first freebie. I actually wrote about this little gem a few years ago, they wrote, but it's a cutesy block-moving puzzle game where the goal is to murder everyone in any given scene. It is well worth a try. Also, its name is a nod to Sleepaway Camp, which is my favorite camp slasher movie. Joining the festivities halfway through the month is Made of Scare, which certainly looks more the part of a traditional horror game. On the backward compatibility side of things, Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy is available for the first half of October as an original Xbox game. Next up is Double Fine's Costume Quest, which I unapologetically adore. It might be time for a replay of that one. It's breezy and light in all the right ways. This one just doesn't even have a hardcore mode to trip you up. Here's the full Xbox games with gold breakdown. Again, on the 1st, you get Slay Away Camp Butcher's Cut. On the 16th, you get Made of Scare. On the 1st, you get Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. On the 16th, you get Costume Quest. Oh, God. Where do I begin? I tweeted out, Xbox should just reconsolidate the funds that are going into Xbox Live Games with Gold and just find another perk to give players. Because at this point, I mean, hold on. Let's look at this. So, Xbox Live cost per month. All right, so Xbox Live is $9.99 per month. Is that legitimate? You've got to be kidding me. Hold on. There's no way. Join now. I need to know. This is wild. Oh my God. Okay. Let's take a step back. If you are paying $9.99 per month for access to live multiplayer, and hold on, let's go here. If you are paying $9.99 per month for access to Xbox Live Gold, and then you think you're getting a good deal with getting these 4 games, just get Game Pass Ultimate. For $5 extra, you get access to literally over 100 games, and these become an afterthought. And I don't mean to hate on the team here, I'm just kind of venting because it's frustrating as somebody who loves Xbox Live and who loves the Xbox brand. The games you give away just aren't good. I mean, you look at what PlayStation Plus is doing, and they're striking these multi-million-dollar deals to get Fall Guys and Modern Warfare 2 remastered in the same month. Come on, Personally, I think Xbox Live Gold should be absorbed into Game Pass. It just makes sense because the majority of the games on Game Pass you can't play without gold, and you might as well go ahead and just get Game Pass Ultimate because it's $15 a month, and really that's the cost of a giant plate of spaghetti at Olive Garden if you leave the waiter a $3 tip. It is just something that you can't really compete with, and Xbox Live Games with Gold, I can't remember the last time that I actually saw a game on Games with Gold that got me excited to have a subscription to the service. I just don't feel it, and that's kind of where I stand on that. But hey, if you're a super huge fan of slightly off, like if you just like these Okay, horror games. I suppose this is the month for you. However, that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about everything we talked about here today. Specifically, in regards to Cyberpunk 2077's developer CD Projekt Red crunching going into the game's launch. How do you feel about that? Would love to hear what you guys are thinking about that entire situation. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.